and welcome to the mat. So I just posted a video of sun salutations out there, but maybe today you're not feeling like sun salutations, or perhaps you haven't ever done yoga before. Well, I've got a video for you too, and this is a really short one. It's all about the yoga breath and yoga breathing. And believe me, this is yoga. It helps us strengthen our core, and it helps us to breathe deeply into our lungs. It calms our central nervous system. So this is a breath that we practice throughout our yoga practice, but I encourage you to do it all the time. Breathing is yoga, and there's a lot of benefits that I've listed on my Jill Sand Consulting webpage. So check it out and learn more about how important breathing is. But today we're just going to find our breath. So go ahead and just find yourself in a comfortable position. Maybe you're outside like I am, sitting on a blanket, or perhaps you are at a beach. I know some friends went to the beach today or are going later on today. Or perhaps you are sitting out on your deck or your gazebo or your porch. And so just take a few minutes, right? Just for yourself. You're all by yourself, or maybe there's someone that you are with who wants to also breathe. So let's go ahead and find that inhale that lifts our heart center, and then let the exhale soften our shoulders and our elbows towards the sides of our body. We're going to breathe in and out through the nose with our yoga breathing. So let's take an inhale and an exhale. And just take a couple more easy breaths here before we move into the yoga breath. And then when we're ready, we're going to start to bring our breathing into the belly space, letting that inhale open and expand the belly space out towards the hip bones. And when we exhale, we're going to bring the belly in towards the spine. We're just going to hug that belly in towards the spine. That's our belly lock. That's part of our core strength. So inhaling and opening up the belly space. And then on the exhale, just squeezing that belly into the spine. Breathing into that belly space, we squeeze that breath out. Inhaling and filling up that lowest third of our lungs, and then exhaling as we squeeze the breath out. Continuing to breathe in the belly, we're going to add on. So when we come into that next inhale, we'll inhale first into the belly space, expanding into the hip bones, and then moving our breath up to the lower tips of our rib cage. On our exhale, we're going to squeeze our solar plexus in and then press down towards the belly. Squeeze the belly in as we release that breath. So let the inhale open up the belly space, expanding to the hip bones and up to the lower tips of our rib cage. Exhaling, solar plexus right below the rib cage squeezes in, and we squeeze down towards the belly, squeeze the belly to the spine as we release that breath. So finding that inhale and the exhale. Breathing into the lower 2/3 of our lungs now. As we move deeper into our parasympathetic nervous system, just bringing ourselves in a calm, relaxed state. So with our next inhale, we're going to expand that breath to the hip bones, move it up through the rib cage now to the top of our lungs, feeling our heart center lift at the top of that inhale. And as we exhale, we just soften our heart center, and then we bring that solar plexus in, pressing down to the belly, squeezing the belly in. So finding that inhale that starts down in the belly space, expanding through the rib cage and up to the top of the lungs, and letting that exhale soften the heart, moving the breath down as the solar plexus squeezes in and presses down to the belly. Belly squeezes into the spine. Let's take a few breaths here. This is actually core work for us as we engage our core muscles. And we're going to add one more core muscle engagement to this 3-part yoga breath. And that is our root lock. It's a Mula Bandha. So we'll go ahead and start to meet at the bottom of that inhale as we let that inhale open up the belly space, expand through the rib cage, and all the way up to the top of the lungs. As we exhale, we soften the heart center. Start to move that breath in, moving the solar plexus down towards the belly. Imagine that belly into the spine. And now we're going to add a gentle little lift of the pelvic floor. And that little lift of the pelvic floor is like when you're walking into cool water and you just start to touch the base of your body, right? And you get that little, ooh, that little lift. So it's not a big lift, it's just a little lift. So let's practice that a few times. Inhaling into the belly space and moving that breath to the top of the lungs, feeling that opening, that lift of the heart center. And then exhaling, moving that breath back down, squeezing the solar plexus in the belly, and then adding that little lift of the pelvic floor. Inhaling, there's Drake, and exhaling. What a guy, huh? He's just got to show himself off. Take a couple more breaths as we take that inhale up. And then that exhale moves down nice and slow, squeezing the solar plexus in the belly and lifting the pelvic floor. And do you know that you only have to do 4 to 6 of these breaths in a minute or two to help to reset your central nervous system? So I hope you enjoy your breathing practice for today. Namaste.